Imagine building your dream business only to find out that 97% of your cash just disappeared. That's exactly what happened to Mark Cuban in his early startup days. Back when everything was still done with paper checks and envelopes, Cuban's company had just $84,000 in the bank. And every week, they'd write checks to vendors, seal up the envelopes, and then hand them off to their part time assistant to take to the post office. And it seems harmless, right? Well, one day, Cuban got a call from the bank and they said, "We have a young lady who just cashed some checks." And so Mark's confused and he asked, how was that even possible? Turns out the bank assistant took all the checks and whited out the payee names, wrote in her own name, and then cashed them at the bank drive-thru. And just like that, $82,000 of $84,000 that they had was gone. And the scary part, there were almost no warning signs. We trust people quickly, sometimes too quickly. Now, all of this happened in his first company, Micro Solutions. And I'm struggling that the bank was suspicious enough to call Mark after the transaction, but not before they cashed all these checks. I mean, whiteout on one check could probably be overlooked, but payees whited out on multiple checks for nearly $100,000 is crazy to me that they just handed the money to her and let her leave. And I'm pretty sure that most bank branches today do not carry that much cash in the bank unless they're in a very busy, large city. But the worst part, Renee Hardy, who was his trusted receptionist, vanished immediately after leaving the bank. So there were never any charges and no punishment. She literally got away with it. Now, Mark has been interviewed about this multiple times, and he explained that after this happened, he immediately called vendors, explained what happened, begged for time, and they leaned in and helped him rebuild. And honestly, within years, he sold that business for millions. But this whole ordeal, it taught him a brutal lesson. Now, what could have stopped this? Well, a few smart internal controls that they could have had in place. So separation of duties, meaning one person writes the check and another mails them. Another thing that they can do, which this would be if the bank had never called them, was making sure that bank statements are sent directly to all account signers and actually look at them. And the last thing that I recommend is for bank reconciliations, they should be handled by a bookkeeper who is not the person who's writing the checks. And the business owner needs to be reviewing the finished reconciliation, question things that look suspicious, and question reconciling transactions that are older than 30 days. Subscribe for more real fraud stories and how to keep them from happening to you.